Hey Scorpio, we're gonna do your, oh, it's already bubbling up. We're gonna do your full moon in Leo energies. I'm doing this reading as the full wolf moon in Leo turns to the waning gibbous. That's too many. We're still under the sign of Leo though, so it still applies. This is just the time that I'm performing this reading. So, however, all of my readings are general and timeless. So whenever you click on this video is when it was meant for you, Scorpio. I feel like I said Leo a bunch. I hope I didn't call you Leo. But Scorpio, this is your reading. If this resonates with you, I hope you hit the like button and subscribe if you see fit. Drop me a comment if you feel so moved. I do love to hear from you. And so, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, Scorpio. All right. Let's get a load of this. Without further ado, okay, so Scorpio, what your current energies have to do with is the Knight of Pentacles. That is the signifier, and this is where we begin your reading. This is a sense of messages coming in very slowly but reliably. You're waiting on news. You're waiting on some news. This is earth energy. For some of you, that'll resonate. But moreover, this talks about your energy of sort of waiting for a solid yes. That's what I'm hearing right now. You're waiting on something, and the crossing of supporting energy is the Three of Wands, and this is a card of expansion. So it's almost as this expansion relies upon the message that you hear here. You know, so some of you, it's whether or not you can go forward on a project, or, you know, if you're waiting to hear back from a job. This is material, so it's something in the material world, and it could very well have to do with your material wealth and your work. And so, and you're waiting to, you know, to hear about the green light, so that you can go ahead and move forward into expansion past the boundary of where you had been before. The Three of Wands is it talks about pushing past your boundaries and expanding forward in a passionate way about things that make you feel passionate. Wands are fire energy, and that's inspiration. So you're inspired to move forward, but you're waiting to hear something. At the root of you is the energy of the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is this beautiful, attractive, gregarious, everybody's best friend energy. This could be your energy. The Queen of Wands, male or female, it doesn't matter what gender you are, but the Queen of Wands is a very exalted aspect of her element of fire, of the wand suit, which makes her incredibly inspirational, incredibly passionate, incredibly creative, and has amazing leadership qualities as well. This is at the root of you. This could be an energy of somebody also outside supporting you. It could be a fire sign. For some of you that might resonate, but at the root of you, I feel like this is your energy, Scorpio. You just had a lot of, you know, a gust, a burst of inspiration that brought you into this really elevated space. It's a very social card, so it's sharing that inspiration. So that's at the root of you. In your recent past, there's the Five of Pentacles, and that's a sense of feeling alienated and left out, which is very interesting and juxtaposing an energy from this here. You know, it's not expected that this energy would feel this way. So what I, you know, feel about the Five of Pentacles, when, you know, in the sense of alienation, it being in your past, it's sort of like, okay, this is just what's coming through, alchemizing the situation into what they least expected. That's what's coming through. It's almost as if your inclination was to, instead of push back, you gave through. I'm getting the energy or the image or being reminded of Aikido or Hapkido, depending on what country. It's the martial arts that teaches the soft form rather than aggressing and opposing energy. It's taking on the energy and agreeing with it in order to overtake that energy. So it was something that I trained in for a second, and the master used to say, "Oh, you want to grab me? Okay, I help you." And so you move into the energy so that you can overtake and flip it and take advantage of it. So that's sort of the energy here. There's like, if you, for some of you, it's going to resonate that you had a notion of being left out in the cold. And that's what the Five of Pentacles talks about, a sense of alienation. And a sense of being separate from salvation. And so with this energy coming forward, it's as if you walked through it and met it with, you just melted it away with all of this fiery passion. Let's see how this comes together here. It's so interesting to have those juxtaposing ideas. Crowning you is the Hanged Man energy, and this is this just came up in Libra's reading, so you might be dealing with a Libra in the same position. So Scorpio, this has to do with meditation and looking at things from a different perspective in order to achieve a sense of enlightenment, and this is what you did, and that certainly makes a lot of sense to me when, especially in talking about what we just did. It's as if like you had this lonely feeling of being left out and away from community and away from society, and instead of sinking into that feeling and sulking, like you had the wisdom and presence of mind to take a step back and see things from a different perspective and say, okay, what's really going on, and really being able to come back in a powerful way that's very spiritually generous. The Queen of Wands energy is very spiritually generous, and so instead of doing what was expected, responding in a way that would be expected of this energy, if that's what you were feeling you were getting, this sort of alienation feeling, you're like, okay, I'm going to walk into it and just show you how much fire I have, how much I have to give. And your spiritual generosity came forward, and you were able to arrive at that by a deep practice of meditation and being able to step back from the situation and gain a new perspective on it, and indeed achieve enlightenment, this level of enlightenment, because we all know when it's explained and laid out for us that that's the correct thing to do, that's the right thing to do, that's the right way to handle this, and that's really beautiful and very, very well done. Something else was coming through. Just to put it out there, I think that this feeling can be a byproduct of what we went through last year in terms of the pandemic. And I think that because we're so closed off from the ability to interact in a way that was normal for us once upon a time, we like adjusting to the new normal, it can have interesting byproducts, and some of it can affect us emotionally and make us feel like we're cut off in ways that perhaps are not true. And maybe in this process you understood that, you knew that what you were feeling and what was actually perhaps the reality of the situation were two different things. And so, with great courage and again, generosity of spirit, you were able to come forward in a way that was, in spite of the way you were feeling or fearing, you were able to come forward in a really bright and beautiful and inspirational way. And that's at the root of you. And that's at the root of, again, what's happening is your expansion that you're waiting to hear about materially in a way that allows you to move forward. But what happens is, Scorpio, is you move forward anyway. Whether or not you hear this thing that you'd been waiting on, enough is enough. You're done with waiting. You have the Fool card, Major Arcana, and it speaks to, oh, and you know, the Hangman is Major Arcana too, so this begets this energy. And you know, which is to say it's big. And it affects your life in a really, really big way. So instead of waiting around to hear about your expansion, you push forward with blind abandon, and it's a really beautiful, good thing. This is you know, representative of purity of heart and purity of mind and intention, and it's also freedom. It's freedom and liberation, and it's moving forward, you know, without bounds and binds, and there's nobody who's telling this person what they can and can't do. They're just going to go forward and discover the new territory for what it is. So we talked about this expansion, meaning that you've reached a boundary and you want to go forward and you want to discover all of this land before you, that you've never, that's yet to be unturned. And so in this way, you're moving past your boundary, which is a scary, scary thing. But you go forward as the Fool, as I say. The Fool actually has his own wisdom, though, because he knows that he's got the sun at his back, and that's life-giving energy. He's, you know, full of the virility that the sun brings. So he has the energy and all the stuff he needs for the job. On his knapsack, he has all the tools he needs here. There's not many. It doesn't take many, because it's him, that knapsack, this dog, and his wherewithal. And he's going to move off the cliff, and the dog is there to represent that spirit is supporting him and looking out for him, and will be there to warn him of the, you know, of missteps. And in the distance are these mountains, and it talks about the challenges that are there on the horizon. He gets it, he knows, and he has a choice. He can be afraid of it and not move forward, but he, with wild abandon and all of the gregarious spiritual generosity and openness and heart and freedom of the Queen of Wands, is moving forward through it anyway. And he's not waiting to hear from this guy anymore. This guy's way too slow, way too slow. And so he's like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna forge ahead and make of this what I will. And it's a beautiful, beautiful energy of the Fool in your near future, and it means that you live with freedom. So good. And of course you do, because in your energy is the master manifester, the magician. And again, so this is a graduation too, by the way, because the first person that the Fool meets on his journey, in the tarot journey, is the magician. And so that talks to me about like this first step resulting in an immediate ascension. So you don't go out there blindly and then fumble. You go out there and you immediately ascend, and you ascend to the magician. Again, the magician is the master manifester. He has all the tools for the job. Represented on this card is every aspect of the tarot. We've got the cups, the swords, the wands, and the pentacles. So you have the resources, you have the fire and passion, you have the heart, and you have the knowledge, the scruples, and the mental faculty in order to commit your manifestation and bring it forward here. You are the connective tissue between the spirit realm and the earth, and you're backed by glorious, glorious, sunny, yellow, life-bringing energy as well. This is your energy. You are in prime manifesting mode. Why? Because you had the gumption to just keep moving ahead towards your expansion, Scorpio. Amazing. And in your environment is the Priestess. So this is telling me two things immediately right off the bat. Priestess is intuition, intuitive. It's intuitive energy, and it's telling me that you're reaching people. You are reaching people. This is in your environment. So it's like spidey sense to spidey sense. People, you are contacting people in the astral plane. It seems to be like people are really responding to you energetically. It is one of those things where that all of this, you know, even if this was happening a little bit, It's like people were alienating you for whatever reason. You came at them with all the, you know, the warmth in your heart and spirit, and they're picking up on it, and it's really powerful, and it's speaking to them spiritually is what's happening. Everything that you're manifesting forward, whatever this is, whatever this expansion is, it's something that's reaching people spiritually. So perhaps some of you are spiritual teachers, some of you might be tarot readers, some of you might be dance instructors or artists or performers, something that, you know, what you're putting out there is spiritually enriching, and it's reaching people. It's working, and you're communicating with them the secrets of the universe. In the Priestess card, in your hopes and fears, Scorpio, is the Tower in reverse, and so this is sort of interesting because it's like the Tower card is paradigm shift. It's a big tumultuous, you know, crumbling away of what no longer serves you, and it may be disruptive in a way that you don't expect. And so that's like, you know, Tower card 101, but it's in the reverse, and it's almost like you're afraid that it won't crumble, like that this won't cause a paradigm shift. And you're manifesting big change. You're manifesting something huge, and you want the tower to fall. You want the old paradigm to fall, and you want it to, you want to, like Phoenix from the ashes. You are the Phoenix, by the way, Scorpio. That's another expression of your sign. Phoenix from the ashes. And the tower is also your energy, by the way. So you're showing up pretty strongly here. And being in your hopes and fears position, it's like, after all of this, I better see some real fundamental change. I need to get to the next level. And like, and that's what you're moving for. That's what this expansion is. And you want to get there. And so being in your hopes and fears, and in the reverse, it's almost as if you're like, what if I do all of this and it doesn't, and I just end up in the same place? It's not going to happen. That's not how that happens. That doesn't happen that way. When you put the energy, when you put the work forward, you always get somewhere else. You do, and especially if you're working as smartly and wisely as this. The magician is a master manifester, not a so-so manifester, not a I kind of know how to manifester. It's the master manifester. You're going to get to the next level. You just are. And the Queen of Pentacles is in your outcome. Again, male or female, this is an ascension. This is you get to pre-empress level of creation and creativity, of abundance, of great nurturing. I get the feeling that this thing that you're committing to, especially since it's being received so spiritually, you are really, it's something that offers a service of real, of nurturing, of nourishment on a soul level. And the Queen of Pentacles is, again, pre-empress energy, so there's something sort of maternal about her, and so it's that level of nurturing that comes with her energy. It's earth energy, it's fixed energy, it's very reliable, it's established. She's a very exalted aspect of the earth element, and so she's very wealthy in all things, and she's materially realized as well. Like, she's very secure in her resources as well. So it implies wealth in your outcome as well as everything else. Wealth in creation, wealth in nurturing, and abundance, and being taken care of. For some of you, it's going to speak about a maternal relationship, a mother figure, your mother actually, and you know, for others of you, it's going to be your energy. And wow. And let's see what else it says. Interesting. I feel like, do I want one more? Let's see. One more. Scorpio, there's some really warm hearth and home. There's too many. Sorry, I don't mean to whine. Let's come to this. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, I took 2 more. Lots of earth energy, lots of pentacles. So this really points to your pentacles, your wealth, your enrichment. So in a spiritual level, this is a very enriching period for you. And then on, in the material sense, this is creating a lot of wealth for you. And further clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, we have, in this order, the Page of Pentacles is here to talk about being a student of life and having a messenger come in, and the messenger finally came in. It's this guy coming in at the end. And he's like, oh, by the way, here's the green light. By the way, it was a yes. And you're like, dude, I already went off and did this thing, but thanks anyway. That's so funny to me. But you get the yes, they do come in. That's good news. And then finally, we have the Chariot card coming through and talking about a great victory. You have a great victory coming through here, Scorpio, and card of Cancer. It's a lot of watery emotional intention as well. Emotional fulfillment coming through here. You have the Hierophant card. This is a card of really deep practice and discipline, and this is also a card of tradition, and can also talk about marriage, signing contracts, those types of unions that are really sorry for the background noise, but those types of unions that are long lasting. The ink dries thick. And so for some of you, it's going to be contracts. For others of you, there might be a marriage in here. We do have a divine counterpart on the table here, because the King of Pentacles has shown up in your outcome as well, mirroring the Queen of Pentacles. And so for some of you, it is going to be a marriage. And this is all earth energy, again, like very grounded. And so if this is a traditional marriage in the romantic sense, it's a divine counterpart. It's your soulmate, and you have for others of you, it's a partnership. It's signing contracts with somebody. What happens with this process as you take the leap of faith into your expansion is that you forge a really strong bond with somebody, and it solidifies it legitimizes it makes manifest here in a really strong way, and it leads to a victory. And it also leads to a great deal of material wealth. These are all the best pentacles, Scorpio. It's the end of a cycle, but it's also legacy wealth. That's what is achieved through this. You have, for some of you, it's going to be joining of families that just came through. So that it's going to be joining of family wealth or something like that. For some of you, that'll resonate. But really, all of this ascension process is coming towards something that is bringing forth a very, very great bounty here on earth in the 3D, and that manifests as material wealth, as in money, a great deal of a sense of security, a sense of satisfaction, all of these wonderful, wonderful things. And also brings forward a lot of options. So you have the 7 of Cups. You just got a bunch of cards popping out at the end there, so I had to take them all. And the 7 of Cups is options, more offers, more. So this begets, this one leap of faith ends up, becoming many offers, and all of them are very emotionally tied. It may lead to a sense of overwhelm and potentially confusion, but that's okay. You'll sort it out. I think this is sort of what you want. This is a part of the new paradigm that you want. It's like, is this effort to beget more of the same and more better. And so that's what the universe brings you, a bounty, just, bounty flooding forwards. The floodgates are open, Scorpio, and it's yours to take, and you get a really big victory out of it as well. Yeah, even though this guy took forever to get there, to let you know that, by the way, it's a yes. That's so funny. So, rest assured, if you're ever worried that, you know, this answer was coming in, it was going to be a yes all along. Okay, Scorpio, I hope that resonated with you, and if it did, please do hit the like button. Subscribe if you feel so moved. Drop me a comment. I do love hearing from you, and I hope to see you at the next one. In the meantime, I'm sending you so much love and light. Thanks.